Well, hello for all these people that are here. I am Zaina, and welcome to my social media takeover for UBCO residents. How's everyone doing today? Still have a couple people joining. So I'll just wait for a couple more people to join in. Meanwhile, I hope you're all wearing your masks, socially distancing, and listening to our sweet friend, Bonnie Henry. But also, don't forget to take care of yourself and take those nature walks, go do some meditation or some yoga. Katrina just said, good to know. But yeah, guys, take care of yourself. Times are rough right now. So do all the self care things you need to do. All right, so let's get started. So for all of you who just came in, I am Zaina. I'm the Monashi RA. I have absolutely loved my RA experience, and that's why I'm here to share it today. So please hit me with all your RA cues. I also have some on the side, so we can do some of that, and I can answer some of yours as well. So just go ahead on the comment section, ask me anything. Okay. So I'll just start with one of mine. A very common question is, how many hours a week do you work? So I work around 10 to 15 hours a week, and this includes meetings and one-on-ones and resident interactions. On-call days are a little longer, and it's kind of like overnight, but you kind of get to work around your schedule. It's kind of like a part-time job, really, and you get to work around your own schedule. So as long as you have a routine, you should be a-okay. So, question from Katrizzle. What's the Residence Life team like? The Residence Life team is really the best part about this job for me. I've met friends who've become family. They really keep you sane in these weird times. Everyone in the team is so kind, so reliable, and so dependable. Anytime you have questions, you can always reach out for support. I go through a lot of creative ruts, and I really need my team then, and that's when they really come in clutch. So it's a great team, and they're an excellent support system. Oh, hi, David. Look, a resident's joined. Hello, UBCO food. All right. Any other questions? So we have one, and it's what kind of residence events happen during the school year. So because of COVID right now, all of the events have transferred to virtual. There are a lot of cool virtual resources to really be able to use. We play a lot of games online, and for now they are virtual, but as soon as it gets better, and it gets warmer, we will be doing more outdoor events, and we can resume our old events. But usually they're games, they're competitions, they're movie nights, there's yoga, there's fitness classes, there's so much going on. And it really just depends. And we also have events.ok.ubc.ca. You can check out that resource, and it has a calendar for all the events happening around campus. Hope that answers that question. All right. What year do you have to be in to be an RA? Excellent question. So, as long as you are a registered UBC student, you should be able to apply. It's not really like, oh, I'm first year or second year, I can't apply. It really just depends. Like, as long as you are registered and you can live on campus, you should be able to apply. So, no specific year. Long story short. Any other questions? Or I can move on to one of the questions we got the other day. Um, so there's one question that I would like to share. One of it was, what's a challenge for the job? I wouldn't say that it is challenging. If you stay organized, you'll be all right. The first few weeks of school do require a little more time commitment, but it is very manageable, and just stay on top of your planning, because once you plan, executing it is really not that hard. So it's not challenging at all. It's what you make it. All right. Since this is an RA hiring questionnaire, we have, thank you, UBCO Food. You've asked, what was the RA training like? RA training was definitely one of my favorite parts about this job. It was super intensive, but so worth it. It was about 7 to 10 days long-ish, but it was so helpful because they give you the tools and the resources to succeed in the role. They teach you how to troubleshoot. They teach you various situations and how to respond to it. And honestly, some of them are life skills for me, and I am so grateful I got to learn it through this job. So, although it is a little intensive, you get a lot of breaks, a lot of refreshments, and that's really a time that you get to know your team better, that you get to connect with your team better, because throughout the school year, we're really focusing on our residents and doing events, and also taking care of ourselves and focusing on our routine as well. So, I'm really glad that the RA training was a great place for me to get to know the team that I'm working with throughout the year. All right. Since this is an RA hiring questionnaire, we have a question that goes like, do you have any tips for getting hired? Many tips, but you've probably heard this before. I would say just be your authentic self. The interview process is super fun, and I honestly, one thing I did during my interview process, and I encourage this, is that ask your interviewers questions about what their expectations are for the role. Tell them to tell you past stories about like other RA experience, or to ask them what the work culture is like. Or any question you have in mind, something like what makes you nervous about the role, or anything like that, because I promise you they will answer that, and the clarification you can get will give you exactly what a great idea about what the role entails. So ask questions during the interview. Ask them what the experience is like, and you will get to know lots. We have some more people joining in. So yeah, those are the tips to getting hired. Just be yourself, ask questions, tell them what you're nervous about. How do RAs build community? How do RAs, we do it in different ways, and the real key to all of it is to really get to know your residents on the personal level, because you never know that you'll find like two residents who like the same thing, or are in the same class, or are looking for a fitness buddy. Connect them, introduce them to each other. It's really just like start from the building blocks. Help one person meet another person, and that way I assure you that's how you'll create a super interactive community. And um, another thing that I would definitely say is like foster conversations, but also be a good listener, because that's also key to building community. Oh, hi, Bailey. Any other questions? How do you balance the RA job and school? Personally, I schedule my gym and my school life earlier half of the day, and then the later half I kind of do my RA job. I'm also a research assistant, so I just get all of that done by 4 or 5 p.m. ish, and then the rest of the day I will probably do laps around my community to say hi to my residents. It's really easy to balance it, and it's not like an everyday thing where you have to like constantly be giving the energy. Like it's how you divide up your routine, it's how you learn to balance it. And as I said before, have a routine. Like, I can show you what I do. I do a week at a glance thing, write down all my tasks, and then I also do like an hourly schedule that you can see there. As long as you stay organized, it is not hard to balance RA job and school. What changes are coming in residence life? Residence life is growing. So many changes. Campus is growing. We have a bunch of new buildings coming up, more diverse food options, more study spaces coming up. One of the things that I really love about this job is that I get to wear different hats. So for one of our new buildings, there's a dining hall committee opening up, and I get to basically provide input during meetings on menu and like how it'll look and all of that. So not only do I get the opportunity to make an impact on residents, but I also get the opportunity to make an impact on campus food, and I help it become more diverse and more representative. So it's really rewarding. A great question. Was it challenging being an RA during the pandemic? It it was not challenging. Obviously, like, we had to learn how to adapt because the first half of it, the restrictions weren't as strict, so we were able to have in person, but later we had to kind of translate them to online. But it hasn't been challenging, and I think it's really fun learning how to adapt, like, and kind of diversify the way you communicate with your residents, or diversify the way you throw events. It really keeps things interesting. So hasn't been challenging, I would say, during the pandemic. It's just teaching you how to adapt better. It's been fun, and it's been very interesting. Any other questions? Thank you for all of the people who showed up. I appreciate. Is there anything that has surprised you about the role? Oh, great. We have both of it at the same time. So, very good question. Something that surprised me about this role. I realized that my kindness and my thoughtfulness did not go unnoticed. I've had residents who've brought freshly baked cookies at my door or gave me a beautiful painting that they made, and like, to just thank me in return for something that I helped them out with. And I thought that was very, very sweet. So that was very surprising because it's not just like any other job. Like, here, like, you get this, like, it's just so rewarding. It's so sweet that they think of me, and remember, like, so as I mentioned, your kindness and your thoughtfulness definitely don't go unnoticed. Yes, same question. Bailey asked, would you reapply to this role? Yes, I would. If I was not graduating, I would have definitely reapplied. It has been such a great experience. I'm really sad that it's coming to an end in 3 months for me. 11 out of 10 would recommend this job. Super fun. You get to meet a lot of people, and you get to give back to the university, and it's great. Hope that answered that. What advice would you give someone who is not quite sure if this job is for them? I would say, think of the reasons why you would think of applying to this job first, and then think of all the things that do make you nervous. Weigh them out, see which one you value, and see what's important to you. I would say, if you love meeting people and want to make a difference in your community, and you want to grow academically, you want to grow professionally, then this is definitely your calling. It's a very, like, it will literally come full circle. So think about it, weigh your pros and cons, and I'm telling you, you will learn a lot. There has been a lot that I learned throughout the year. What's the hardest part about being an RA? Sorry, guys, I can't see, so I'm like squinting on the screen. The hardest part about being an RA. There are some days where you'll feel like a lot of your energy has been taken. It may be like a really long day of just doing RA work or like just events, and you might feel a little drained. So I would say that's the hardest part, but it's really nice because my team and my managers, they're all really there for us. Like when things are hard, just go talk to them, have someone to talk to. Once it's off your chest, you will feel better. And it's not that it's the job that's stressful, it's like just life in general. Like I have my days, like sometimes I'm like just studying all day, maybe things are hard because of that. So that can impact my job, but like you always have support, you'll always have people to go to, and it's great. What's been the best part of being an RA? The best part about being an RA is being able to be there for your residents, like for sure. The fact that I am the RA for this floor, and I'm in charge of so many people, and I get to know each and every one of them personally, and I am able to help them on their LinkedIn resume, or help them learn like a course better, or like help them learn some kind of life skill to give back. That is the best part about being an RA. That is what makes this job one of the best jobs I've ever had. I get to be myself. I get to push myself to be better every day. Like that is the best part about being an RA. SV Pro joined. Hello, SV Pro. Any other questions? Some questions about campus. Okay. I have another question here that says, are there different opportunities to work for residence life? There definitely is, and you can choose how much you want to be involved. You do get to wear different hats for the job. As I said, I'm a part of the food committee. It really depends on, how much you want to contribute. So there are different opportunities, and your managers and your team members, they'll always tell you about them. Someone asked, how close are classes to residence? Super close, like 5 to 10 minute walk, even less. One thing I love about UBCO is that it's a small, close-knit community. Everything is really, really close and very, very accessible. So not far away at all. And with the campus growing, like it's great because it's all kind of growing like in a circle. So you can kind of just walk and you'll find your way through. Great question. Any questions about events? I guess we'll do like one or two more questions and then we'll wrap it up. No. All right. How does being an RA help you after graduating? Very good question. The RA experience is like a whole 1 year experience, and you do learn a lot of things throughout it, and the connections you make in res life and your manager, like throughout that 1 year of them truly getting to know you as a person, that's an excellent reference to your employers. Like I've already told my employers about the people that I'm working under right now, and I just feel like they would be able to really tell your employers how much you've grown through that 1 year, all you've done, how you dedicated your time, how you managed your time. They can tell them how great of a worker you are and all of that stuff. So it definitely does help after graduating. Also, being an RA really teaches you how to manage your time better. I think that's literally like the number one thing I've learned is how to manage time. It has also helped me improve my people skills. Like before, I used to be really scared to talk to like 20 people. Like obviously, I'm a pretty social butterfly, but like talking to 20 people looking at you was like a really hard thing for me, but it has really pushed me to grow. I'm way more comfortable, like whether that be in person or Zoom, to just like talk to all my residents. Like those are real people skills that I wouldn't have gotten elsewhere, and I have to do it on a regular basis, so it also gives me a lot of practice. So a lot of transferable skills through this job to a real job, I would say, for sure. And then one last question. What do you like about living on campus? It's definitely the accessibility thing and the fact that there's community here. I have a lot of friends who live off campus right now with the isolation going on and us having to be inside. Like I haven't really gotten the chance to see them, and they also say that they feel isolated. But for me, I don't feel as isolated because I'm around this community with students, and I'm always seeing people, like when I'm like going for groceries or something like that. So I still have my interactions here and there. So I think I'm really grateful that in a year like this I'm able to live on campus. But another thing that I do like living on campus for is like there's always food places, there's coffee places like right there, like walking distance, and I really appreciate that. Like Kelowna's a little spread apart, so other parts in town it's not like that, whereas campus is like that. So it's great living here on campus. Also, campus is really scenic. Where like it's dotted with like the mountains, like it's right in the middle of a valley, so I don't even have to go too far to like really experience nature. So definitely love that about being on campus. All right, guys, that was my last question. I'm gonna just sign off from here. Just a friendly reminder that the application for being an RA is due on Feb 22nd. We look forward to seeing yours. Feel free to email us any questions at residence.ok@ubc.ca or visit okanagan.housing.ubc.ca to apply. Anybody can apply again as long as you are a registered UBC student.